Hello everybody and welcome to Lena Mystic. Make sure you go ahead and you like, share, subscribe, and comment. Hello everybody and welcome to Lena Mystic. And today we're going to be talking about Mars retrograde. Make sure you go ahead and you like, share, subscribe, and comment down below. And also share this with your friends so that they can know what's coming to them as well. Even people who do not always look into astrology, I feel like this video is really good for you, because when you don't know what's going on astrologically, you succumb to these retrogrades, and it's not a pleasant thing. Especially Mercury retrograde. We all know Mercury retrograde is like by far one of the worst and mostly crazy experiences when it comes to retrogrades. But this one is Mars retrograde, and it is in retrograde September 9th, 2020 through November 13th, 2020. But you'll still feel the effects as a shadow period until around the end of December, I want to say. Yeah. And I think it's really important that we know what's going on with Mars and what Mars rules over and everything, so that we could be prepared. A lot of you are probably already feeling the effects of Mars retrograde, and you're not understanding what's going on with you. Probably feeling this fiery passion and anger and stuff, and you're just like, I don't know why I'm so angry all of a sudden. Well, this is why. Mars is definitely screwing us over, but it's also bringing blessings, especially because Jupiter is now direct. Let's celebrate, because Jupiter is the planet that rules over luck and just success and, you know, abundance and, you know, great things. So while we're experiencing this wonkiness with Mars retrograde, we're experiencing this blessing with Jupiter being direct. So this is pretty exciting, because if you've been feeling stagnant, I really feel like Mars retrograde and Jupiter being in direct is kind of helping us to move forward, but also take our time while we're doing it and do it precisely. So that's just the way that I see it, okay? That's just the way that I see it. I'm no astrologist or anything, but I do look into these things because I want to understand what's going on with me, what's going on with my husband, my child, like why is everything so wonky? And even pets, you know, we're all affected by these retrogrades and these planets, so why not understand them? So let's get into what Mars retrograde is like. It definitely comes around every 2 years. It doesn't come around as much of it doesn't go in retrograde as much as other planets. Like Mercury goes in retrograde, I think like 4 or 3 times, something like that. Don't take that as a quote. Like don't quote it. Yeah, Mars definitely goes in retrograde only every 2 years, or it seems to be going retrograde every 2 years, as far as we know. You know, we find out new things all the time. But during this retrograde, we feel more sluggish, tired, exhausted. There's like this lack of energy and this weariness, and even this anger that kind of comes to the surface, because Mars rules over passion, energy, and war, and all of these things that, you know, our passion is in, you know, even sex a little bit, okay? And during this retrograde, I feel like a lot of us are going to be very drained. Just drained. Not understand why we're drained. Probably before September 9th, you were feeling tired, because that's still a shadow period. It's not very fun when things just smack you in the face when it comes to astrology, because you don't realize that something's about to go into retrograde, and then you're just like, what is going on with me? What's going on with my marriage? What's going on with my kid? Why are we all acting like damn fools? And then you find out 4 planets are in retrograde, and you're like, oh, this explains a lot. I do think for those of you who are interested in retrogrades, you should download the Retrograde app. It actually tells you what planets are in retrograde, when the next one is coming to retrograde, when it's over, and all of that. And it's really nice to have that app. I definitely don't think anybody should take on any new projects or extra things right now, considering how weary we will be. We won't be able to put in our best effort into multiple things because we're going to be so tired. And for work, I suggest taking a lot of breaks. Rather than one break, I suggest taking like a break every, I don't know, whatever works best for you. For me personally, I feel like because I work on the computer a lot, I'm gonna need to step away maybe every 45 minutes just to get my eyes together and like myself together And for you, maybe you don't work on a computer, or maybe you do. Maybe it doesn't bother your eyes or anything if you're looking for too long periods of, computer screen. I just recommend that people take a step away. Like, if you smoke, you already take that step away. But those of you who don't smoke, take little breaths of fresh air outside or something. I don't know. Now, not only is Mars in retrograde, it's in retrograde in Aries. And we all know Aries is very fiery, very passionate, and almost energetic-like, which is funny because if Mars is in retrograde, which means it's moving back, it's taking away our energy, but Aries is kind of giving us this boost of energy, or this, I want to move, I want to go forward, I want to be passionate, and it's weird. It's almost like we want to move forward, but our body is tired. Our body is not interested in moving forward. So it's going to bother a lot of people because they feel like they need to be somewhere and they need to hurry up, but they can't. That's the thing with Mars retrograde. It's like you physically can't. So it's going to take a physical toll on a lot of us. But I think the best thing is that it's going to teach us how to slow down. I think we just move too fast. Like, if you look at everything else in nature, I feel like they move a lot slower and work a lot less. I mean, even other countries in America move a lot slower and take a lot more breaks and stuff. And I think that even, this quarantine and everything has brought that out of us. And for Mars to be in retrograde, it's like, slow down even a little bit more. Like, it's okay. And you don't always have to be tip-top shape. Like, we're always going through different phases in our life, and I feel like we're always too hard on ourselves. So it's time to just be free. I'm not saying like quit your job or anything, and I'm definitely not saying be a couch potato all your life, but I think that sitting on the couch a little bit longer for a longer break is nice. It's very refreshing, and during a time like this, you want to remain balanced, so it's important to step away from things that are creating, I guess, chaos in your mind. But I definitely suggest a lot of breaks. A lot of breaks during this time. I mean, we already know it's going to last. November 13th is when it kind of ends, where like it won't be as fiery as, before. But you'll still feel the effects, of course, in December. And you can choose to do with that with what you please. Does that even make sense? Like I was talking about before, Mars retrograde is definitely bringing some things to the surface. A lot similar to Mercury retrograde, where you start to feel more agitated and you can't communicate that well. Well, Mars is actually making you communicate in a sense. So if there's been something that's been bothering you for years, the last 2 years or the last few months or even the last few weeks or days, then these things are kind of going to come up. This could be at work, home, wherever you are, like outside. If somebody parks in your parking space and it pisses you off, like, you might go up to that person during Mars retrograde and be ready to fight. And this is literally anything. I mean, I was talking to my friend and she was saying that she's in a lot of different Facebook groups, and in every single one of them, people were arguing about the stupidest things that didn't make sense. So there's going to be a lot of arguments right now, and you knowing that Mars retrograde is here, you're not going to be as susceptible to those arguments because you're just going to think, Mars, why are you screwing with us? And it's just going to make you cool down and calm down, so that's good. But I want to say at this time, don't take anything too serious and don't take anything too personal, because a lot of things are coming out of people's mouths, and honestly a lot of that has to reflect them rather than you. But I do also want to say, reflect on yourself. When someone says something about you or about what you do, be willing to reflect on yourself and see if it actually is you. If it's not, then don't take it, like, leave it. But if it does have a reflection of you and is something that you don't want to be, this is the perfect time and perfect opportunity to do that shadow work and to work on yourself and improve yourself to become a better version of yourself. You have to be willing to take constructive criticism at this time, because people's truths are coming out. So if someone feels a certain way, you either take it or you leave it. But the best thing to do is to take it, see if it matches you, and if it doesn't, leave it. But if it does and you don't want to be that, you take it and you improve it and you embrace it and you try to change it to what you want it to be. and try to change it to become a better version of yourself. Now in love life, I'm actually kind of reading my article right here, so if I look down, don't judge me. I'm looking down at my article that I wrote. You can look in the description box or the comment section if you want to read it. This will explain how Mars will affect you. Mars being in retrograde will affect you. And I also have a blog on there that you can read that tells you how it'll specifically affect your zodiac sign. So that's pretty cool. I'll put that in the description box as well. In love life, you may be feeling a lot lazier too. Work life, I already said you'll be feeling sluggish. But in love life, you're going to feel a lot lazier. Like, you may not want to put in as much effort as you normally do. You may not want to be as intimate. Sorry about that. But you may not want to be as intimate. And some of you are going to feel like extra intimate because that is your outlet. And it's good to find an outlet, and if that is your outlet, I mean, let your root chakra just do its thing, okay? But definitely try to let your spouse or whoever you're with or near know how you're feeling, and know that Mars is in retrograde, so they don't take it personally that you don't feel like being intimate. Because a lot of us are not going to, and a lot of us are going to be overstimulated because it's in the sign of Aries, and that is just like, we just ready to buzz it wide open, okay? But just let people know around you that they shouldn't take anything that you do personally. I mean, this is even the perfect time to step away from a lot of people too, because you know you may be a little bit wonky. But when you think about Mars, you think about passion. And passion is also anger in a sense, because when you're angry about something, you're very passionate about it and you want to express that passion about it. So know that you will be a lot more frustrated at this time too, and things that you could kind of just suck up before, you won't want to suck up now. Like, you may be bothered that someone leaves their shoes in the middle of the floor, and you've been telling them for the last 3 years, please pick up your shoes and put them in the closet. But at this time of Mars retrograde, you'll probably smack them in the back of their head, or yell at them, curse them out, or even, you know, just go full I got these hands, okay? But try not to fight anybody. Try not to risk any relationships that you have, because you have to have an understanding of what Mars retrograde is doing and the effects that it has on you. At this time, it's definitely better to think before you react to something. Create an analytical analysis and be like, you know, I probably shouldn't punch this girl in the back of her head because she stepped on my show. I even almost got irritated with someone, and then I was like, Mars is in retrograde. Like, I don't have time for this. I need to go home. It's not worth it. It's definitely not. Now that I've told you everything that Mars retrograde is doing, guys, do not use this as an excuse to be an ass. Try to take responsibility, because anything that is going on with this retrograde is just bringing out parts of you that you don't always expose. So if it's really dark parts of you, that's the time for you to do shadow work, and you to look at those dark parts of you and say, hey, do I want to keep them or do I want to shift them? You get to choose that. Nobody's telling you to lighten up those areas, but it is good to know that this is how you think. This is how you are. This is the true you. These Mars retrograde, Mercury retrograde, Jupiter retrograde, it all just shows us parts of ourselves, the way that we react to certain things during that time. It's just showing us who the darker parts of us are. So it's your choice whether to do the shadow work and to shift them, or to do the shadow work and accept them. That's pretty much all I have for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you comment below what's going on during this retrograde for you guys, and I will see you next time. Deuces.